Now in this session, we are going to discuss about the boiler operational hazards and preventive measures under the safety in engineering industry subject, right? So first of all, we must know what exactly the boiler is, then how the boiler is going to operate, what are the boiler mounting and accessories, why we are going to use this boiler, and then on the basis of that we must know what are the boiler operational hazards and how to prevent that. So this is the contents of this presentation. Introduction, why safety in boiler operations, boiler operational problems, hazards and preventive measures, role of water chemistry in boiler operation. Now this is the photograph of one of the boiler where you can understand the size, shape and the different elements involved under the boiler. Those who are not concerned with the boiler or utility department, they should know, they should understand, they should imagine how big the boiler is, and depending on the capacity, depending on the steam generation capacity as well as the capacity of the furnace, the shape and sizes depends. So now what exactly the boiler is? When we are talking about the boiler, as a safety officer, we should know the definition of a boiler as per the Indian Boiler Regulation Act and rule. Now, the boiler means any closed vessel exceeding 22.75 liters in capacity, which is used expressly for generating steam under pressure and includes any mountings or other fittings attached to the such vessel, which is wholly or partly under pressure vessel when steam is shut off. So boiler is a equipment, it is a vessel, it is a closed vessel where we are generating the steam. So the parts which are connected to this closed vessel or the boiler where the steam is generating, that parts are also included in the boiler definitions. So in the boiler definition, this is 22.75 liters capacity is the main parameter. So if the capacity is beyond that, then the Indian Boiler Regulation Act and rule is applicable for that boiler and for that factory. So boiler is using the water and generating the steam. So the steam is the utility normally used in the various types of industry as a thermal medium to heat some of the raw material, to heat or to provide the heat for a reaction for a vessel, or the operations like distillation, dryer, etc. are carried out with the help of steam as a thermal media. So for providing the steam all over the factory, we have to generate this steam, and for generating this steam we are using this boiler as a equipment. So boiler is attached to the furnace, boiler is attached to the conveyor systems where we are conveying the fuels. The boiler fuel may be a coal, that may be a liquid, that may be a biobriquettes nowadays, that is agricultural waste, and in some boilers we are using gases. The boiler and thermal heaters are a little bit different. So in the thermal heaters, we are using oil, and the heat capacity of the oil is used to heat that oil, and as a thermal media, we are using that oil in the thermal heaters. But in the boiler, we are heating the water and create the steam, right? So boilers are having different classification. The main classification where the boiler is going to create the steam is fire tube boilers and water tube boilers. So when we are discussing about the fire tube boilers, it means in the tubes the fire is there and that fire is providing the heat to the water. So outside the tube the water is present and inside the tube fire is present, then it is called as fire tube boiler. If the water is present inside the tube, then it is called as water tube boiler. So depending on the requirement, depending on the capacity, we have to choose this type of boiler, but the general working principle of boiler is one and the same. Now there are different terminologies like boiler, mounting and accessories. So boiler mountings are generally used for cleaning or for safety purpose. So there may be a safety valve, there may be a safety plug systems, there may be a dead weight safety valve, ram's bottom safety valve, lever safety valve. All these types are nothing but the mountings. That may be a water level indicates to check the water level in the drum or to check the temperature or pressure gauges, etc. When we are talking about the accessories, so accessories means additional parts. So the additional parts other than these mountings on the boilers are called as accessories. So boilers generally are having mountings and accessory, and while operating this boiler, it is called as boiler operation. So if you are thinking about any type of boiler in your industry, then it is a critical equipment because it involves a temperature, it involves a pressure, high pressure and high temperature, then it involves a fire, it involves a fuel, it involves a furnace, it involves various conveyor systems, pipe systems, pressure gauges, temperature gauges, etc. So it is a critical equipment and it works on a very high pressure and temperature. It is nothing but a live bomb. It can explode if proper care is not taken. So if you haven't taken the safety measures, some safety steps, then that bomb, that is nothing but a boiler, can explode. So boiler explosion can lead to a loss of lives and assets. What is boiler safety? So boiler is made and certified under supervision of boiler inspectorate. So there are boiler inspector and chief inspectors in the respective states and at the central level also. So that expert person only have to certify this boiler for operation purpose. And in that certification process, the main parameters are the fittings or the accessories or the parts which are attached to the boiler, then the material of construction, thickness of material which is used for designing the boiler, then maximum working pressure for boiler operations. Then operate with qualified boiler operator and boiler engineers along. So when you have got certification for operating this boiler, you should hire the qualified boiler operator and boiler engineer instead of the non-qualified persons, because it is a live bomb. So you have to take care of all the safety things which are related to the boiler operations. Insist upon all safety devices kept in working orders. So all the safety devices like dead weight safety valve, ram's bottom or spring loaded safety valve, that may be a lever safety valve, that may be a fusible plug, that may be a rupture disc. So all these things should be in working orders. Low water in boiler should not occur, and that is why the level gauge or the level indicator is provided on the boiler to check the level of that water. Nowadays, the level indicators are connected to the sensors, and this is connected to the closed loop system where automatically the water wall is on when the level of the water is low. Ensure that boiler is working as per the boiler certificates. So whatever the points mentioned under these certificates, mainly I have discussed that the working pressure or the design pressure, then high temperatures, maximum temperatures, the fuel for that boiler, the thickness and material of construction of all these boiler mountings and accessories. So you have to ensure that boiler is work as per the boiler certificate. Regular and periodical cleaning of boiler should be done. So the cleaning is required because due to impurities, due to foreign materials, the temperature and the other parameters are going to change, and on the basis of that there may be a hazard. Then safety device should never bypassed. So all the safety devices should be in working conditions and they should be used on a continuous basis. Accumulation of scale or sludge to be avoided. So in the water, you should check all the parameters while or before feeding the water in the boiler or in the drum. So in due to impurities or due to the materials uh, like chlorides, sulfates, nitrates, etc., scale formation may be a problem, and due to some other weather conditions, sludge formation may be also an issue. So you have to check all the parameters, and that is why before feeding the water, all the parameters should be checked, like pH of the water, BOD, COD, DO, alkalinity, acidity, some foreign materials, especially the salts, the TDS, TSS, that is total dissolved solids or total suspended solids, total solids, etc. All the parameters should be checked before feeding that water. So to avoid the scale and sludge formation. Then feed water to be softened or demineralized. So in some of the cases, in some of the location, in some of the areas, bore water is available. So for that purpose, you have to use the softener equipment so that hard water is going to convert into soft water with the help of this softener. And in some cases, if more minerals are there present in the water, then you have to remove that minerals, and that is called as demineralization process. So DM plant should be installed and softener should be installed for feeding the water if it is having more salts or more minerals. Then efficient use of fuel to be made. So whatever the fuel you are going to use, that may be in the solid, liquid or gaseous form, that may be in some agricultural waste or biobriquette form, so that should be available in the sufficient amount and used in a great efficiency. Then testing of all safety devices and water gauge glasses is done regularly. So I have already told you that you have to check the temperature, you have to check the pressure, you have to check the flow rates, and all these parameters should be checked with the help of some temperature or some pressure measuring devices. And sometimes in some of the boilers, some closed loop systems and some computer based systems are available, so that automatic recording of all these parameters are available on the screen, and automatic sensors are also available. If the pressure is going beyond the limits, then automatic the pressure should be controlled with the help of other parameters. If the temperature is going beyond the limit, then also the other parameters can control the temperature with the help of the furnace temperature, with the help of unfeeding of this fuel, etc. So all these parameters can be linked with various parameters and be controlled with the help of sensor systems and computerized systems nowadays. Then yearly inspection of boiler is not postponed. So for the boiler certification process, 1 year or 12 months is the mandatory conditions. So each and every year you have to go for the boiler inspection, and that boiler inspector rate is going to do all these types of inspection, and then will certify whether the boiler is in good condition or not, and what are the maximum permissible limits for the temperature, pressure, and whether all these safety devices are available and in working conditions or not. So all these inspections should be done on yearly basis. So this is the boiler safety. You can observe this BOILER, boiler, SAFETY, safety. So you should remember this all boiler safety abbreviations. So this is the overview of the boiler. So in this boiler you can observe the duct, you can observe the cyclone separators, you can observe the superheater systems and piping arrangements. So complicated piping arrangement is there when the boiler capacity is more. So the boiler may be a fire tube, that may be a water tube, that may be a combo boilers, means the combination of this fire and boiler tubes, etc. So various designs are available nowadays, and some sophistication techniques and technological changes are going to done in the boiler operations. So this is the photo you can observe after accident of this boiler. So the severity of this case, the level of the damage, you can understand after the explosion or after the accident of this boiler. So for that purpose, we must identify what exactly the operational problems are. So to avoid the accident, to avoid the explosion of this boiler, we must identify these operational problems, and then we have to prevent these problems to repeat it again. So the list of these boiler operation problems are tube leakage, very low drum level, very high furnace pressure, furnace explosion, very high boiler pressure, boiler feed pump failure, loss of ID fan, that is tripping, problems due to poor water chemistry. So we will discuss one by one these boiler operation problems. So this is the tube leakage. So what are the reasons or the causes for this tube leakage problem? Poor water chemistry is the main reason of boiler tube leakage. Effects of poor water chemistry are scaling, pitting, corrosion, etc. So scaling, I have already discussed that some of the impurities, that is also called as fouling. So some uh, dust or other foreign materials or some other chemicals can form a layer that is called as scaling, and after some time with respect to some parameters or temperature, that scale becomes hard. Then that acts as a heating resistance to the boiler. So whatever heat you are going to provide to that tube, that is not going to absorb 100%. So that efficiency of that tube is going to reduce, and due to that we are going to provide high heat, high temperature, uh, which is not recommended at all. So sometimes pitting problem may be there. So pitting is nothing but the removal or elimination of metal parts from the tubes, that is called as pitting, and that is one of the type of corrosion, right? So corrosion may be due to a weather condition, due to water conditions, due to some parameters of this water or water related parameters. So corrosion may be a issue, and due to corrosion there are chances of leakage, because after corrosion or due to corrosion the strength of that tube is going to reduce. Then sometimes overheating, so whatever the design temperature is given, overheating may damage this tube. Then starvation means the insufficient or no supply of the fuel. If you are not going to supply a proper fuel or ample amount of fuel, then starvation may be a issue, and due to this starvation, if the fuel is not there, then there are chances of leakage due to the weakness of that tube. Then pitting corrosion we have already discussed. Then thermal shock is one of the problem. Thermal means heat, that is related to heat, and shock indicates that there is a temperature difference or sudden temperature difference, and due to this sudden temperature difference there may be a leakage chances of these tubes. So the tubes are designed for a particular temperature difference, but in case if due to some reason if there is a sudden temperature difference, If delta T is more, then there are chances of cracks or leakage of the tubes. Then improper fuel quality. So the design is for a particular fuel quality, and if you are not going to maintain that fuel quality, then the parameters like temperature is again going to change, because improper fuel quality is going to change, and due to that calorific value of that fuel, and due to the calorific value, the heat generated due to this fuel is changing, and overall picture going to change, and that may affect on the tube strength. So these are the different causes of tube leakages. Then preventive measures for these tube leakages: maintain the feed and boiler water chemistry, use good quality of fuel as per the furnace design, avoid overloading of boiler which will reduce the overheating of the tubes, maintain water circulation to avoid the starvation of the tubes. So ample amount of water which is designed by that manufacturer, and overheating should be avoided, and good quality fuel should be filled to that boiler. So these are the different preventive measures to avoid the tube leakages. So these are the examples which shows the tube leak or tube cracks. Then next operational problem is very low drum level. So cause may be failure of boiler feed pump. If you are going to feeding the water continuously, but if the level of that particular water in that drum is low, then there may be a chances, or there may be a reason, that is failure of boiler feed pump, then failure of drum level indicators or controllers, and sudden reduction in load or water tube failure. So that may be one of the reason when your level indicator or controller is showing that the drum level is very low. What are the hazards due to this low level of drum? Boiler may damage badly, because if the level of that drum is very low, then extra heat or more heat is going to provide to the boiler, because this heat is ideally have to absorb by that water, and if the water is not present up to that mark, then that heat is going to provide to the metal part through the air, and if it is that is provided through the air and to the metal, then there are chances of explosion. How to prevent that very low drum level? Run boiler with safe limit, attempt to control with feed check valve. So you have to check that feed check valve. If water level is below safe level, stop the boiler immediately, because overheating may be an issue, and due to overheating continuation, there may be a chances of explosion or major damage to the boiler. So safety valve check is the major concern to prevent that activity, and to avoid these cases, you have to inspect, you have to check regularly the feed pump arrangement, the level indicators and controller systems, and the water tube inspection. Then next problem may be a very high furnace pressure. So what is the reason to increase that pressure? Due to faulty operational of fan control, distributed combustion, and uncontrolled fuel entry. So these are the different causes due to which very high furnace pressure may be created in the furnace. What is the hazard due to this high pressure? So the boiler may damage due to high pressure furnace, and weakened parts of the furnace may explode. So due to high pressure, the some of the parts may become weakened, and that weakened parts may going to convert into explosion. How to prevent this very high furnace pressure? So you have to control these fans, that is FD fan and ID fan speed. So this forced draft and induced draft fan should be controlled, If pressure is above the safe limit, stop the boiler immediately. So for that particular activity, you have to stop the boiler. So rather than stopping the boiler, if you want to control this activity, you should check and control this FT and ID fan speed. Then furnace explosion is the next operational problems. So why this explosion may be possible in the furnace? The causes may be accumulation of unburned fuel during startup of boiler. So when the fuel is fed to the furnace, it is ideally expected that this 100% fuel is going to burn, that is with the help of excess oxygen. Normally in the furnace, the ideal reaction is hydrocarbons are going to feed with the help of heat. The oxygen is also with the help of heat and with the help of oxygen supply, that is also excess oxygen or excess air supply. 100% complete combustion is expected. But if incomplete combustion occurs due to some reasons, then due to incomplete combustion, unburned fuel is going to start. So that accumulation of this unburned fuel during startup of this boiler, that may be one of the cause. Then improper burning. So if the temperature is not sufficient or the burning method is not proper, then due to this improper burning or insufficient heat, incomplete combustion may occur, and this incomplete combustion may gives us or may results in the unburned fuel or incomplete combustion ash. Secondary combustion. So generally the primary combustion and secondary combustion are going to provide. So in the primary combustion, 100% complete combustion is not possible, and that is why secondary combustion or secondary chamber is provided for achieving the 100% combustion. So if the hydrocarbons are burning, so say for example HC, so that may be a coal, that may be a liquid, that may be a gases, whatever it may be. All these combustible materials are nothing but the hydrocarbons. So when we are going to heat that hydrocarbon, we are going to supply the oxygen, then hydrocarbon is going to react with oxygen, and that provides CO2. So ideally we are expecting this CO2, but if the insufficient or incomplete combustion is there, then carbon monoxide is going to form, and that indicates the incomplete combustion. So what is the hazard due to this incomplete combustion or unburned fuel? The furnace explosion can cause extensive damage to the lives and the boiler. So due to unburned fuel, we are going to provide the extra heat, and that can damage to the lives and the boilers. So how to prevent that? Always purge boiler with 40% full load air about 5 minutes. So by providing a full load of air, indirectly we are going to provide the oxygen, because air contains the oxygen and nitrogen, and we are going to provide this oxygen. So this oxygen helps to convert these hydrocarbons into the CO2, that is for the supporting the complete combustion process. Then adjust air fuel ratio. It is one of the major parameter to control this furnace explosion. So how much fuel you are going to feed, on that basis you have to calculate the air supplied, and that air fuel ratio should be maintained. So with the help of stoichiometry calculations or the process calculations, we can calculate this air fuel ratio. And nowadays the computerized systems, some DCS, SCADA, PLC systems can automatically control this air fuel ratio in the furnace. So these are the preventive measures to control this furnace explosion. So this is the picture where you can observe the furnace explosion. Now the next problem is very high boiler pressure. So why or how this very high boiler pressure can be created? The causes may be a sudden drop in load, that may be uncontrolled fuel entry, or that may be a turbine trips. So these are the main three reasons or the causes where boiler pressure can be increased. Now due to boiler pressure, what are the hazards? So the disturbance in drum level, or if safety valve fails and pressure rise above safety limits, boiler explosion may take place. So the main hazard is boiler explosion, and the other hazard is disturbance in the drum level. Then what are the preventive measures? Set safety valve as per design only. So this may be the hazards, that is the explosion or disturbance in the drum level. And due to the disturbance in drum level, then that again create the different hazards. So how to prevent this very high boiler pressure? Set safety valve as per the design only. Adjust load on boiler if it is dropped. So you have to adjust this load on the boiler, and you have to operate this safety valve as per the design. So in some of the designs, that may be a 1.2 or 1.3 multiple working pressure. That is, after that pressure, safety valve is going to operate. So safety valve normally of three types, that is ram's bottom or spring loaded safety valve, that may be a dead weight safety valve, and that may be a lever safety valve. So this is the picture which is showing that boiler blast due to very high pressure. So due to high pressure, the boiler may going to explode. May I come in, sir? So this is the next operational issue, that is boiler feed pump failure. Boiler feed pump failure may be due to motor protection relay operators, or feed tank level low, or low suction pressure. So these are the different causes for boiler feed pump failure. What are the hazards due to this boiler feed pump failure? So that may be a low drum level will occur, or possibility of starvation. So we have already discussed about the starvation. If insufficient amount of water is not going to provide in the boiler, that is called a starvation for this purpose. Tube overheating may occur due to this boiler feed pump failure, because this pump is going to provide ample or the design quantity of this particular water, so that overheating may occur due to this failure. Then how to prevent this boiler feed pump failure? Start standby pump immediately. Decrease load on boiler. If feed water is not available, stop the boiler immediately. So all these three things can be operated for preventing this boiler feed pump failure. Now the next operational issue may be a loss of ID fan. Why these losses can be occur? So the causes or the reasons may be drive fault, that may be a electrical motor protection, that may be a motor bearing temperature very high. So all these can be a causes. And what are the hazards? Furnace may get pressurized because the ID fan is off. If furnace pressure rises, obviously the safe limit furnace may explode. So these are the different hazards. So that may be a pressure extraction or pressure increased due to this loss of ID fan. How to prevent this ID fan failure? Check the cause of an fan tripping. So you have to check the fan tripping and rectify it. Then restart ID fan immediately. Maintain the furnace pressure within the safe limits. So these are the preventive measures to avoid the losses of ID fan. Then the next point is poor water chemistry. Boiler water and feed water contain impurities and cause operational problems. impurities and their effects on boiler are as follows. So there are different boilers parameters uh, to feed, or before feeding that water you must check all these parameters. That may be a dissolved oxygen, that is DO, that may be a pH, that may be a total hardness, sodium chloride alkalinity, silica total dissolved solids, that is generally called as TDS or TSS and TS. So all these are the various parameters related to the water, and the different problems may arise due to the insufficient or the variation in the limits of these parameters. Suppose if the dissolved oxygen is not as per the standards, then pitting or the corrosion may be the problem. If the pH is not as per the standard, then corrosivity may be the issue. If the total hardness is as per not as per the mark, then scaling may be the issue. If the sodium is not as per the mark, then corrosivity or scaling may be the issue. Likewise, due to chloride, corrosivity; due to alkalinity, scaling, foaming, corrosivity; due to silica, scaling or carryover; and due to total dissolved solids, foaming, corrosivity, carryover of the steam may be the different issues. So we have to control all these issues by controlling all these parameters. So for that purpose, we must measure all these parameters. So if we are not going to control all this technical issue, then there may be chances of boiler explosion. Boiler is nothing but a live bomb in your factory. So please be careful, and we must control all these boiler operational problems, and we must follow all these safety measures and practices. Thank you.